Football is a game of details. While players and coaches spend hours watching film, going through drills, and scouting teams, Eastern Washington's Assistant Athletic Director for Equipment Services, Spencer Ibarra, is spending 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, packing gear, building helmets, and taking inventory. It's that attention to detail from Ibarra and his small team that help make game days at Eastern Washington possible.
They are unsung heroes of what we do. I like to think of them as permanent Santa's helpers, except they're all Santa, and they're constant working year-round to make sure that we're looking a mess.
A lot of people think it's laundry. They don't really know what's behind the scenes.
We wear lots of different hats as equipment managers: ordering, purchasing, inventory, labeling, distributing.
They do a fantastic job. I mean, just the fact that they give us everything we need in a timely manner and just dealing with as many people as they do.
Yes, we have football, and it does take a lot of time to do it, but all of the other sports that we have take just as much time and matter just as much.
14 sports, to be exact. Spencer Ibarra and his team of 7 manage the equipment for all of Eagle Athletics.
It's tough. There's a lot of time management that has to be taken into consideration, especially with a lot of the sports happening in the same season. So we try to be as proactive rather than reactive with a lot of the stuff that we do.
You take for granted how much I see it in the facilities. It's a lot more than just full-time job. It's an all-time job.
Since July, once we started receiving all of our boxes for all of our sports, 7 days a week right now. We come in on the weekends to make sure things are organized so we can get stuff turned around as fast as possible.
Organizing equipment is only a portion of the job. You'll often see Ibarra and his student employees working as officials for football practice or snapping balls with position coaches, all in preparation for game day.
We're here about 5 or 6 hours before kickoff to make sure the locker room is all set, make sure the athletes have everything that they need, and then probably about 2 hours afterwards. So it's a full day, probably about an 11-hour day on game days.
For away games, the EQ staff loads the team semi with everything the Eagles would need on their road trip.
We set out the player bags the night before so they can pack whatever they need.
Get a list every single week. You get laid out. You should check off. Make sure everything's in your bag until we can drop the bag off to them.
On Friday, I will do a sweep of the locker room, and that's often where I'll find someone who may have left a helmet or shoulder pads or jerseys. I'm just glad I do that last-second sweep to make sure they have what they need on game day.
The most important thing to remember, the uniform. And Eastern Washington believes they have some of the best.
Eastern, best in the conference, not even with us. We never wear the same combo. We always switch that face mask, helmet.
We leave it up to the captains and marketing, so they kind of decide what we're going to wear, if we're going to do a blackout game or a whiteout game or a redout game.
All red is super special. First game of the red, all red. And just really the significance of that and what it means to protect the red, as we call it.
My favorite uniform combo is definitely the all black. Really like the matte black helmets. They're definitely my favorite.
Picking a favorite uniform is easy. Balancing the demands of an around-the-clock job is hard.
I have a family with 3 kids and a wife, just trying to make sure I'm spending enough time with them, also while trying to make sure that all of my student athletes, coaches, and admin are taken care of as well.
A lot of the work you guys do is behind the scenes, and you don't get praise for a lot that you do for us and for all the student athletes at Eastern. I personally take it incredibly seriously how much you put in this program, and I'm going to do everything I can to help this team win. Thank you for everything that you do. We're doing this together.